It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the films of Memorial Day weekend 1997, May 23rd to be exact. And after the abysmalness of the last week that we looked at last time around, I'm definitely going to make it up to you this week because we have three movies and two notable movies, one in particular that I'm going to show you right here to completely make up for the horridness of last week's episode. Enjoy one of the greatest teaser trailers of all time. I can only imagine what it was like being in the theater in 1996 and 97 and seeing that trailer popping up on the big screen. I mean, that had to have been an incredible film-going experience. That's one of the greatest teaser trailers of all time. Too bad the movie was nothing like the marketing, and, I mean, honestly, folks, I've talked about this one in long lengths on previous videos. In fact, in my Jurassic Park 30th Anniversary retrospective I just did, which you can go check out with the link in the corner, I pretty much ran down everything I didn't like about this movie, so I'll just go ahead and be brief on this one in particular. If someone were to ask me what the worst Steven Spielberg directed movie of all time is, I'd probably say The Lost World would be my choice, because let me tell you, this was bad. This was really, really terrible. It's a movie that's nothing but a retread of the first film, except worse. The whole movie is riding on Jeff Goldblum's character from the first movie, and that's pretty much it. And Jeff Goldblum was great in the first Jurassic Park, but here it's hard for me to take him seriously to be as the leading guy in this movie. I mean, he just doesn't work in this case. I mean, the rest of the cast is wasted in here as well. They take characters from the previous movie and give them these really bad motivations. I mean, both the heroes and the villains are both messed up in their motivations. Like, the heroes end up doing more damage than the bad guys do in this movie, and it just gets ridiculous and more stupider and stupider as it goes along. The little girl with gymnastics kicking the raptor out of a building, I mean, that's something that just really does not hold up well after all these years. It's still pretty bad. Like I said before, the only good thing I would think about the film is that the effects are still pretty good. The last scene in San Diego is actually pretty fun. But other than that, though, it's Spielberg's worst movie as a director by far. I mean, there's nothing that I've seen from him that has come even close to as bad as this movie is. It's just a terrible, terrible sequel that apparently I'm the only one that really doesn't like, because everybody else that I always see, they like this one too. I don't get it, but I mean, like I said, I've always said, freedom of speech. They can say whatever they want to. They can believe whatever they want to, and I personally believe that this is a terrible movie. I would gladly take the Jurassic World films over the Jurassic Park trilogy any day of the week. Even though the first Jurassic Park is still the best of them all, I'd still take Jurassic World, the trilogy, over the entire Jurassic Park trilogy. So, like I said, I'm brief on that one, but like I said, if you want to see my full delve into The Lost World, go ahead and click the link in the corner to see more. And, so yeah, that's The Lost World Jurassic Park. And I mean, we're already off to a better start than last time around, and we have a romantic comedy to follow that up with next. Meg Ryan and Matthew Broderick in Addicted to Love.
You're waiting for her to leave him for you?
At last, a movie for everyone who's ever been dumped. I'm not spying. I just want to be with her.
This is worse than I imagined. That girl of yours is a carnival ride.
They teamed up to win back their lovers. They might end up losing their hearts to each other. Meg Ryan, Matthew Broderick.
I do better than that.
Addicted to Love. Rated R. Starts Friday, May 23rd everywhere.
How is it that Sprung and this movie have pretty much the exact same plot to it? I mean, it's almost exactly the same plot. You have Meg Ryan and Matthew Broderick. They play this couple whose former partners are in love. She wants revenge, and he wants his long-lost love back, so they work together to break up the happy couple. And then they realize that maybe they were meant for each other. It's not quite the same premise as Sprung, but it almost feels just like it, and it's kind of unnerving, honestly. It's a movie that really gets a little bit too stupid for its own good. Like you can make, oops, excuse me, but you can make stupid romantic comedies and they'd still be enjoyable. They could still be a ton of fun to watch, but what the hell was I doing there? I was just like turning my neck like this. It was like Stewie whenever he turns his head when he's questioning Brian. What are you up to? Like, I just noticed that right now. But what was I talking about? Addicted to Love. I really don't remember what I was talking about. But no. Like, you can make stupid romantic comedies and they can be fun, but at the same time, you need a plot that actually makes sense, and this movie really does not make a whole lot of sense. I mean, none of these guys are really mature. I think the only mature people that are in this cast has to be Anton, who's played by Chiquit. I'm probably going to butcher this name completely, but he's a French actor. Chiquet. I need to double check this just to be sure. Evidently, I had trouble with this actor's name before. Chiquit Kalou. I still think I butchered that name out, but let's move along here. He's probably the most mature and most likable of the four people involved here. You also have Kelly Preston, and as a dark comedy, maybe there's a chance that this could actually be something enjoyable, but they're trying to make this a real lighthearted movie, and I've said it before, the best form of comedy is misery. I mean, I said it just recently in my influences video that I just did. Like, the best form of comedy is something that has to involve misery. Somebody has to be miserable to make great comedy work. And this movie just doesn't feel like it wants to take that second chance to make that happen, and it backfires big time because of it. It's not a film that really. It's a film that probably would have worked better as a black comedy, as a real dark black comedy, like something on the levels of something like Throw Mama from the Train or War of the Roses, but it wants to be this lighthearted comedy at the same time, too, and you just can't do that. You need to pick a direction to go with a movie like this. This is directed by Griffin Dunn, who, of course, is a famous actor, but this is actually his second movie he directed, and there was a little bit of time when he was considered a prolific director. I mean, the next film he did was the Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman Witches movie Practical Magic. He'd later go on to do The Accidental Husband and movie 43, so he has a decent directorial career, and in terms of the direction here, it's not bad direction. It's just there's not a good script to really direct from this. I mean, this is not a very solid script, and of course, this movie would be crazy to not have Robert Palmer's Addicted to Love. I mean, you hear it in the commercial there. Yeah, it just didn't work for me. It's a film that there's potential there if you went the dark comedy route, but it just doesn't really want to do that. It wants to be too light, but also wants to have kind of a cynical, mean-spirited edge, and you can't really have the two together unless you're a really good writer and director that can make this work. But in this case here, it just doesn't work. It's a real missed opportunity on a number of levels. So yeah, that's Addicted to Love. So let's go ahead and move on to the last movie we have here, I should say, and that is Brass Off.
John, and what are you gonna do? Fuck off!
Bit clumsy with the crockery, your Sandra.
In existence for 100 years, the Grimley Colliery Brass Band is old as the mine itself, but the miners are now deciding whether to fight to keep the pit open, and the future for town and band looks bleak. And although the arrival of flugelhorn player Gloria injects some life into the players, and band leader Danny continues to exhort them to continue the national competition, frictions and pressure are too evident. And whose side will Gloria be actually on? I literally read that off of IMDb because honestly I have never seen this movie, so I don't know if it's any good or not. But it's got Hugh Jackman. Good lord, I'm out of it right now. Ewan McGregor is what I wanted to say. Ewan McGregor's in here, so is Pete Postlethwaite. Tara Fitzgerald's also in here as well. This is directed by Mark Herman, who did The Boy in the Striped Pajamas about 10 years after this. And I don't know. I mean, it could be pretty good. I don't know for sure because I haven't seen it, but I mean, it's cool to see. Ewan McGregor is one of my favorite underrated actors. I see him in a lot of movies. I think he's really great, and I don't doubt he's really good in this. I think he and the rest of the cast can really save this movie. I don't think the story itself is anything that intriguing or interesting, but like I said, it could actually be really good. I might check it out one day if I can find it. So, yeah, quick one on that one, Blast Off. And so, with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. When we meet next time, we'll finish off May with 4 movies, some notable comedies, including Joe Pesci and Danny Glover in Gone Fishin', Jeff Daniels, Michael Richards, and Charlize Theron in the criminally underrated Trial and Error. We also have Gene Triplehorn and Dylan McDermott in Till There Was You, and also Rough Magic. So 4 movies to look at next time around. We'll delve into those on the next episode. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page. Check out the previous episode. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another episode. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time, and until then, as always, take care.